Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how you can turn this image here into this image here using only Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator. And I hope I put up a few images there in editing, but you're not going to want to miss this one at all. Now, before we get into anything, if you guys were a bit confused thinking, well, I'm sure he posted this video yesterday, then you would be correct. And I did post a similar video like this yesterday, but after I posted it, I had a look at it. I really just wasn't happy with the way it turned out, and I don't want to be obviously posting bad content to you guys on YouTube. And I felt, well, I could really make this image look a lot better, so that's what I'm doing now. And well, I'm very happy with the way this can turn out, and it can make a very, very nice colouring book interior for you to upload onto KDP. So if you haven't been here before, my name is Rory and I run this channel called Mr. Rosa. And before we get into anything, can I just ask you to smash that like and subscribe button, as it would be greatly, greatly appreciated and doesn't take you half a second to do. Now, if you saw my other video about the top 3 colouring books I think you should be creating now, you will know that one of those is the animal colouring book. And now within animal colouring books, there is then sub-niches such as wildlife colouring books and sea life colouring books, which I gave as examples. And we had a look at the potential of those, and the search results, they were meeting our criteria very well, with some bestsellers, even with like results below 1,000 and that sort of thing. And really they were very good books, and I'll show you in a second. And then I thought to myself, well, is there a quick method of creating these sorts of colouring book interiors, some high quality colouring book interiors for people that are a bit lazy and art isn't their favourite thing and they want to get stuff quickly, like they value their time? And well, I have found a very powerful method. Now, you do have to use Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator to do it, but if you do have those softwares, well, it is definitely worth your time doing this method. So let's dive straight into it. Now, let's just start off by looking at the couple of books that we looked at in that previous video. And we just searched our wildlife colouring book, and as you can see, we got a bestseller here, 3,440, a forest wildlife colouring book, 42,000, 69,000, and we can have a look at the interior. I think this book shows it on some images here. High quality and yet very nice colouring book interiors. And again, with the sea life colouring book niche, well, we've got one here, sea life colouring book for kids ages 4 to 8, and again, a nice colouring book interior. Expect nothing less. But let's get into how you can create these. We're not going to waste any more time. So to start off with, you're going to want to go to a website called Pixabay. And Pixabay is a royalty-free stock website. And what it means by royalty-free is that, well, you can upload these images onto your own website, onto a low-content book business, and you have no issues with copyright. And it basically means you can earn money off sales and that sort of thing using this image. And, well, we're just going to, as an example, use the animal theme just as an example. But really, with this method, you can use any image you would like if it works. And, well, you can just type in animal just to gain some inspiration. Have a look through all of these. Now, you're going to want to look for something that's not too complicated, because otherwise, when it comes to vectorizing it and that sort of thing, it just doesn't turn out very nicely. So I'm looking for something with a very, like, monotone background and that sort of thing, and not too much going on in the image. And, well, we can keep having a scroll down, and this image was one that really stood out to me. I really like it because it's got that nice monotone background, and it'll be easy to highlight the animal in it. And yet it's a nice image. I really like that dog, actually. It looks very much like my dog. So all you've got to do, free download, and it's got it here, 1920 by 1280. It's not important as file size or anything like that. Just got to click download, and then obviously I'm not a robot because I'm not. And then once it's downloaded, it'll just go to a downloads folder, and then we move on to the second step of creating our colouring book interior. And then we go into Photoshop. So to start off with, you just need to create a new document, and you can use any size you want. This isn't important at the moment, and we're just going to use a 1920 by 1080, like I said, not important. And it will just create obviously a nice normal document there. So after you've got that document open, we're just going to want to drag in our dog image, and it should just drag in perfectly like So, and then what we're going to do now is, well, we want to highlight round the dog. And in Photoshop, there's a very good tool for doing that. You can use the normal pen tool, which personally I am not a fan of. You've got to go around it. And personally, I don't think it comes out very nicely in the end unless you're like very, very accurate. So they have a very good tool, and especially with a monotone background like this, it's very easy to highlight, and it's this tool here, Object Selection Tool. So if we click on that one there, and then I forgot to highlight, you've got to make sure you're highlighting a layer, and then you just drag over this box over the thing you want to isolate, the thing you want to select. And as you can see, it has gone round it, automatically gone round the whole image. And then if there's anything you want to tweak, like it's missed out parts or it's adding in parts that you don't want, well, what you can do is you can zoom in just to here, and then if you click the L tool, which is called the lasso tool, and at the moment it is on a minus, that means that anything we draw around it will remove. So if we just draw around that area there, just draw a nice circle, it will remove that area. And you can do the same for if you want to add anything in, like down here. If you hold shift while doing it, it'll make it a plus tool, and we can just drag round it like so. But to be honest, it's done a very good job. I don't really want to tweak anything like that. And then what we're going to want to do next is create a mask around just the dog. And to do that, it's very, very simple. In Photoshop, you just click this mask tool right here. It's just like, it's almost like the Japanese flag. Just click that and it will create your mask in the image. And then, well, there we have our image isolated. So what you're then going to want to do is just go File, Export, and then I'm just going to click Quick Export as PNG because we don't really need to mess with these settings at all. And yeah, just go through the process of downloading it. So I'm just going to name this dog1 like so, and download it to my desktop easily to access. And then we can move on to the Adobe Illustrator step, which is then the step of turning it into a colouring book. So open Adobe Illustrator, and we got to go through the same process of creating our document size. And now if you've seen any of my videos about when I talk about colouring books, well, you'll know a lot of the colouring books, they are in the 8.5 by 11 inch size. So yeah, we're just going to create an 8.5 by 11 inch, follow the trend. And well, as you can see, very basic, 8.5 by 11 inches. Then what we're going to want to do is get our dog image that we isolated and just drag that into Adobe Illustrator. So I've gone into Document and it is right there. Just drag it in and it should come in pretty simply like so. So what we're going to want to do is decrease the size of it to fit in the document like so. And we can change this all afterwards as well if it's too big or too small or anything like that, but I'm just going to make it fit this size right now, and I'm just going to make it look, is that in the center? That looks good to me. And then we move on to the process of vectorizing it. Now with Adobe Illustrator, it's got a very cool tool where if you click image trace up here, just click that there, it will image trace around our whole image. But as you can see at the moment, it's black and white. We're going to want to turn that into color to do the colouring book process. So then what you're going to want to do is highlight the image, then go to this table here, image trace panel, and click on that, and it has a bunch of different options you can use. And then the one that's important to us is mode here. I'm not too sure, to be honest, with what the other ones do. There's so much in Adobe Illustrator that I don't understand, but the one we're going to want to use is mode. And where it says black and white here, you're just going to want to change that to colour. And it may take some time to vectorize the whole image because it's a quite big thing it has to do. It has to get every colour basically and turn it into small shapes, as I will show you. But it's quite cool after it is done. And as you can see, it's already done already. And well, you can see all the mini shapes and it's already looking really, really cool. Personally, I would really like that. Just put on a wall somewhere, something like that. Maybe somewhere like here. Maybe you guys can suggest, maybe it turns out cool. We can get something like this. And well, yeah, there it is, all vectorized. And then at the moment, there's a lot of shapes going on. There's a bit too much going on for me, I feel. And what we're going to want to do is just decrease the colors. So where it's 30 here, we're just going to want to decrease that down to 9, which I found was the sweet spot with this image. But obviously with each image, it will change depending on how many colours going on, how much is going on, that sort of thing. And again, just leave it to do its thing. And once it's done, well, as you can see, there's a bit less colours going on and there's just all round just a bit less going on, which is much to my liking. So we can get rid of that table now, and now it's going into turn it into a colouring book. So to do that, you go into your menus up here, go Object, all the way down to Image Trace, and then click Expand. And there you go, it's created lines around the whole image. And then once it's done that, you're going to want to go over to your colour tool on the right hand side, and for me it is on the right hand side, but if it's not there for you, you can't find it anywhere, all you have to do is go Window up here, scroll down and go to Colour. Just click on that and it will come over into your toolbar on the right hand side here, or wherever it is. And then where it's got a question mark here, that is your fill area. That is basically all the colour that is going onto the image. You're going to want to change that to white, and as you can see, it removes all the colour in the image. And then we've got to move on to the stroke or the outline here. Just click on that where it's got nothing as a colour at the moment. We're going to want to change that to black. And well, if we click off the image now, you can see it's turned our image into a colouring book. And well, I personally think that's really cool. And then we've got this box on the outside here, which we don't want, we don't need that at all. So all you have to do is double click it to isolate that box, and then just click remove, and it'll just remove it like so. So then we've got our dog like this. And personally, I think that looks really cool. And you can see for someone maybe like an adult or that sort of thing, someone that really loves colouring book and loves spending a lot of time doing colouring books, well, this could turn out really cool. And an idea I had is what you could do is maybe have the coloured version on like a right hand side and almost do a colour by numbers sort of thing, and try and make a book with, so they have to like match the outlined image to the colour image, that sort of thing. It's just an idea I've had now. And well, that looks really good. And if you want to, you can stop there. But we don't stop there on this channel. As you can see, there is a lot of negative space going on in this image, all this white around the outside. I'm not a fan of it really, I don't like that, so we're going to want to fill that up and make it look even cooler. So you're going to want to go back to your Google Chrome and then go to a website called Vectorizing, and it's just a website where you can download vectors. They have a pro and a free version, and all I'm going to type in is geometric background, and well, let's have a look what comes up. And there's a lot of different geometric shapes you've got going on here, and you've just got to pick one which is, well, most to your liking. And I quite like this one here. I like the shapes that it's going on. That looks quite cool for colouring. And then you've got to just click free download here, and I'm just going to click on the free license and just wait for it to download, and then it will go once again down to your downloads folder. And then once it's downloaded, it will come as like a zip file. You've just got to open it up, open up that document, and then it will come as a .eps and a .jpeg, but we're going to want the .eps, and we're just going to right click that and then open with Adobe Illustrator, and then it'll just open it in Adobe Illustrator. But again, we've got colour going on. We don't want any colour, it's a colouring book. So you're going to want to highlight the whole thing and do the same thing. So where it was fill, we're going to want to change that to white, and where we've got the outline, the stroke, change it to black. And now at the moment, I think the stroke is a bit too thin, so you can increase that just on this stroke bar here, just increasing it. I think that looks slightly better. And then all you've got to do is highlight it, then Command C to copy, and we're just going to go back into our dog image and Command V. And now, as you can see, if we go into our layers panel here, well, the geometric shapes are above the dog, which we don't want. We're going to want to drag that below the dog, and it should, as you can see, create this nice sort of background going on. And then obviously you can tweak a bunch of different things to suit whatever design you're going for. You can increase the size of the dog if you want, drag it over, make sure it's all centralized. You can increase the stroke on the dog, make it something like that, and whoa, we do not want that. We want to go back down to 1. I think that's the sweet spot for this image, maybe even lower than that, 0.75. No, I like the 1, to be honest. And well, if the thickness of the background is a bit too much for you, you can decrease that as well. And then what you're going to want to do is then export the image. And now the way I make my PDF interiors is what I'll do is I'll export the image as a PNG first. So export as this time. Click export as, and then we're going to create dog colouring interior desktop, and then make sure you click use artboards, and what that'll do is remove anything outside of the artboard, and then just click export and export on the highest quality. And then we can just go into our desktop like we've done, open it up, and boom, there we have it. There is our colouring book interior, the first page of our colouring book interior. And well, how long did that take us? That took us 10 minutes. So with some good time, I think you can make some very good images, maybe creating a dog colouring book. You never know, that could be a popular niche to get into. Personally, I really like it. I'm a huge fan of it. And well, I hope you guys like it. Make sure you leave your opinion in the comments below. But yeah, that's the end of this video, and I hope you guys got something from this. And yeah, if you saw the last video, I apologise for it. It just wasn't the kind of video that's normally what I create. It just wasn't up to the standard that I create, and I know some of you guys would have noticed that as well. But this is a much better turnout of the image. We've done a much better job here, and this is a much better colouring book interior. I really like the geometric background, removing all that negative space and that sort of thing. So, once again, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, as it would be greatly appreciated. And make sure you go out and create these colouring book interiors, because they are very cool. I personally really like it. This is almost like a geometric animal shape colouring book. Maybe there's a niche you can look into. But, like I said, I'll see you guys in the next one, and goodbye.